My dad was born in 1965, the second of 4 children. He was intelligent and a troublemaker. He had the kind of friends you'd want to be your friends. One was Janet Cooper. She was the only woman he'd ever marry. And by August 1998, she had the second baby she'd ever carry. My big sister was named Natasha, though you must call her Tash instead. I was to be Anastasia, but let's call her Amy, my dad luckily said. That didn't last long, for nicknames come with blood, and since I can remember, my dad called me Spud. I recall us first at 6 years old, divorce phone calls and new homes. Or every other weekend, when on days out, my dad, cousins, Tash and I would go. We filled up the seats, James, Ben, Tash and me, then held our breath on the drive back from Kent. We were never a chore to my dad, the 5th kid to wherever we went. We'd cycle along the river, walk the loch and climb the pillbox. We made sure to make the most of the fun until we all grew and my eating stopped. When it was time for me to start again, I didn't because they said I might die, but because I told my dad on the phone and his voice cracked as if he might cry. My dad gave a lot to me. He made me begin getting better. But the smallest things were just as big. The midnight pick and mix, a stolen sweater. He also made me feel safe to speak when I thought I might meet a yell. Yet by the time I was 18 years old, there was one thing I struggled to tell. After some years of feeling bad, I didn't want to keep pushing it aside. The way that he reacted introduced me to the feeling of pride. Whilst he gave to me in my lifetime, he'd lost things like his health, Paul, love, and his sight. And I admire him completely, for he continued to walk and run and write. And he was really a great artist. I always wanted to do that too. Even my favourite colour was his. Much of me followed in his shoes. Like my red wellies in his footprints, which sank into the softened mud. I suppose that's pretty fitting, seeing as though he called me Spud.